Hello, my fellow public servant. This video today, this one is about the initial EEO session. So you, at this point, you've called already, or maybe you emailed ORM. They've contacted you, and they're setting you up with an initial meeting. So for my fellow employees at the St. Petersburg Regional Office, a good analogy would be like a CA, the intake person. So they are intaking your information. So this is not the, you need to make your argumentative pitch. This is not a settlement type situation. This is just them intaking you and onboarding you. They're going to ask you to do some homework if you want to be ahead of the game and do the homework ahead of time, get extra credit. What they're going to want is a timeline of events. So all the things that happened leading up to the reason you filed. So, you know, your initial, when you initially, usually these are about reasonable accommodation, so that's what I'll use as an example. Like the first day you put in for the request, or maybe the day then you got the notification that they were going to do a look again at your, a relook. You know, that first notification, and then like when you had your meeting, and then when they gave the decision, and then if you like had perhaps chose to have a second level review, that second level review date, just all the dates, just a timeline of like when things happen. So they're going to ask you for that at that session. But you know, if you've seen this video and you got your extra credit, you can have that ready ahead of time. They'll ask you if you want to be anonymous. That's generally reserved in the EEO process. Well, not reserved, but that's generally used for things like maybe sexual harassment or some racial discrimination. Think like a manager or supervisor harassing somebody, and that person doesn't want to be identified, but they just want the behavior to stop. That's generally what anonymous is used for. In our cases, anonymous isn't useful because you generally are asking for something, namely to have your reasonable accommodation provided back to you. So they can't provide it back to you if they don't know who you are. So anonymous is not really intended for us, and it's not appropriate. So we say we waive the right to be anonymous. If you want representation, you absolutely can. At this point in the process, we're recommending people just choose our local as the representation, local 1594. And then could be myself, it could be our executive vice president, it could be one of our stewards that are more knowledgeable. We only have folks that know about the topic to be your representative. When you select the union, then it could be any one of us. So that helps. Let's see. Oh, and then they'll ask you about ADR, alternate dispute resolution. That's a mediation session. That's the one where you are sitting across from the management official. And so we still, for the most part, are recommending, yes, we do that mediation session. I still hold out hope that we'll have more settlements in the future. I see lots of reasons why we would. And really any day anticipating a change and a turn in the agency. The side of the argument that they're on is not a pro-disabled veteran side. It's not a pro-disabled employee side. So, just due to the nature of the mission, I'm really anticipating that it's going to turn around at some point in the near future. And then you can anticipate about 30 minutes for that initial meeting. So it's kind of an overview, give you an idea of what to expect. And we got more of these videos.